for episode 5 of SWA, an early edition, courtesy of my changing schedule. We initially planned for this to be next week, and some things changed. I'm back early and not going to be around next week, so we're doing it a little bit early here, and then we'll do, the next series of events in a couple weeks' time, sort of as normal. But we've got myself and Doc here tonight for episode 5. I'm going to get it fired up. As always, if you're with us in the chat, let us know if the audio levels are good or not between me and Doc.
Yeah, please do.
Sometimes they're hit or miss, so give us a heads up. I think Nano's around. He can let us know if things are a problem or not. As always, in Dallas, Texas, for weekly shows, unannounced yet where our pay-per-view will be in. That's Countdown. That's coming up in a couple weeks' time.
Very soon. Excited. I think it'll be a good one, we hope.
Got some exciting things planned for that. Definitely some payoff for this Path to Glory matches that we've been seeing week to week. We're, expecting the title to be on the line, Warren Windham to be in action in some way, shape, or form. And, we're going to have a full card of action yet to be announced. And these last couple of episodes in preparation for that will play a big role in determining what we're going to see in that pay-per-view. So we've got some matches tonight that'll be, locking someone's place into that pay-per-view, including our main event tonight.
Yeah, a couple more spots up for grabs. And, who knows, maybe we'll see some shuffling of the deck, as it were. But I think first we got an interesting one here with a couple of guys who are still looking to right the ship, have started off very slow and haven't been able to get a win under their belts yet. And they both want to do that right here.
Yeah, it's been tough going a little bit for both of these wrestlers here. We've had Lucien Bedeau, who actually got a win in the tournament and, thought that might be a good start to some momentum, and he's since, been on a 3-match skid, last losing to Mason Jones in his debut. The Paris, France native has struggled since the first round of the tournament, and, some argue that first win was a fluke as well. So a win here would go a long way to getting him back on track, but we've kind of said that a couple of matches in a row. We'll see if he can actually get it going here tonight.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he looked promising after the tournament. I don't know. I mean, maybe that first win was a bit of a giveaway by Malvo, but it was a strong start, and then it has been nothing but losses ever since. I don't know. I still haven't been sure what to make of it, but I'm curious to see if he can kind of get back on the right foot here going forward.
I think there's certainly some untapped potential there. We'll see if he can find a way to get into that here tonight. He's facing off against El Puma, who's had tough going in singles action, 0-2, sort of a surprising loss in the first round of the tournament. But he's got a little bit of momentum on his side because he recently teamed up with Domingo Cervantes. They secured a tag match in Puma's last appearance, so maybe that's the momentum he needs to get him going on both sides here, tag team and singles action. And he's accompanied with his tag team member, Cervantes, here tonight.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think, Puma and Cervantes, Fuerza Mayor as they're called, getting a win in the tag division, I think maybe has helped to kind of boost Puma's spirits a bit. Cervantes has, been showing us what he's made of, and I think that Puma is looking to sort of feed off that energy, and he's glad to have a corner man with him here tonight.
Yeah, and you never know what to expect too when you've got someone in your corner with you. It can go both ways, but more often than not, it can favor you if that manager type is actively involved. Not sure if that's the type of strategy we'll see here from Fuerza Mayor, who Probably a little bit
Yeah.
more on the up and up by the rules side here.
Yeah, I think so. They're pretty straight laced guys, but that doesn't mean that they can't be helpful and good partners. So far, a little bit of a back and forth thing. Badeau here in control after that big flatliner, getting some offense in. Puma does not want things to go this way. He needs to get everything lined up again here.
Ooh,
big kick.
Big kick takes Badeau down off of his feet.
That was crisp.
Puma can capitalize on that here. Nice little sunset foot powerbomb there. Staying in control, that's exactly what you want to do. And, the kind of tempo, if you can control it, it can play into your favor. Ref taking a long time for this count.
Yeah, the scenic route there.
Not even a single count on the pinfall there. Classic SWA refereeing on display. Puma's not going to be happy about that one, especially if this match doesn't go his way.
Nice blockbuster there from Puma, trying to stay in control, but Doe here with a reversal.
Oh, and a big clothesline out to the outside. Badeau came all the way across the ring for that one.
Yeah, that was a hard hit, gotta say.
And Puma looking for another one of those kicks there, but Badeau wisely gets out of the way. Then Puma catches that discus punch that was on the way, and a little back and forth on the outside of the ring for you.
Yeah, that discus, that's a serious blow if you catch it in the face, and I think Puma had it well scouted there.
See if Puma's going to take his opponent. No, not back into the ring. How about face first on the steel steps? Good grief.
Cervantes cheering on his tag team partner there, hoping to get him going.
Did not expect to see that kind of aggression from Puma, but
little fisherman Michinoku driver there or something. I'm not quite sure what that was, but standing shooting star. Or I suppose that's a moonsault rather, but
rather than capitalizing, trying to lay in some more, and Badeau has capitalized on that. See if he could get some offense in.
Got a few knuckle sandwiches cooked up special, but Puma pushes him off.
Got a couple, yeah, and Puma gets out of the corner in the nick of time. Badeau brings him up, and I don't know if that was a wise decision because Puma capitalizes on being back on his feet.
Yeah, this is back and forth.
Good action so far to start us off, and Badeau going for a bit of a taunt. And Puma through the ropes into that DDT there.
Yeah, into the corner here.
Many times we've seen taunting be
that Gamangiri and now the cartwheel moonsault.
Right into a cover. Has he done enough to put him away? No, kicked out at 2. 2.5 maybe. Oh, and Badeau's a long ways away, but Puma to the top rope. And moon stomp right to the midsection of Badeau.
Man, that's just such a gnarly hit.
Landed it clean center of the ring, and Badeau's got his shoulder up.
That's gonna be disappointing for Puma there. That moon stomp is really everything he's got, and not enough to show for it. Got to see if he can find something else to do.
Catches a DDT there from Badeau, who's now waiting for Puma to get to his feet.
Here comes that last shot.
Drives the last shot in. Might have busted Puma open. That was a solid shot, and the ref not going for the count. Look at Domingo Cervantes. Interrupts the count. A bit of a distraction. Might have saved his teammate there.
Yeah, helping his partner.
Into a bit of an arm bar here.
Helping his partner. That's good teamwork right there. I mean, we talked about them being straight-laced, but ultimately, like, you gotta help your teammate, help him win, because ultimately Cervantes has got a tag with this guy, and if he's just a defeated shell of himself, he's not going to be a useful tag partner.
And locked in another submission here, middle of the ring, a bad place for Puma to be, but got to agree with you. Cervantes, he needs Puma to be at his best. He needs to have a positive attitude, needs to be coming into matches with some momentum. He can't be expected to do it all on his own, so needs Puma to get some wins and build some confidence back.
Puma's got to capitalize on these reversals. My goodness.
Badeau dodged the punch but caught the clothesline, and now Puma's setting him up. Got him up in that package pile driver, center of the ring, right where you want him. Has he done enough here to put him away? This time 1, 2, and 3. El Puma gets a much-needed victory over Lucien Badeau, who falls to 1 and 4 after that match.
And it took all he had to do it. You can see there he's bleeding underneath that mask, but what a bounce back performance from Puma. He really gave it all he had, and I think Badeau respects that here.
Yeah, show of respect indeed from these two. A good back and forth match. Puma comes out on top, and who knows if Cervantes is to credit for that. Might have bailed him out before he would have had a chance to get a shoulder up, kick out of that pinfall attempt by Badeau. But Puma comes away with a victory in a well-fought match between both sides.
And up next, we got another tag team represented in singles matches here. Corey Quinn going up against Lazar Malveaux. This one should be interesting as well.
And Quinn, speaking of Cervantes, Quinn last featured in singles action in a Path to Glory match. Not in the Path to Glory match, but in a match against Domingo Cervantes that Cervantes won. And Quinn hasn't been seen in singles action since then, but he did win a tag match last week with Matthew Quinn in his debut. And Matthew's going to be accompanying him to the ring tonight in this match against Lazar Malveaux. The Quinns split up tonight. A couple of them in singles action, and they both have one brother along for the ride. For Corey, it's Matthew, but he's got a matchup against Lazar Malveaux here, who last beat Corey Wolfhart after a disappointing loss to Lucien Badeau in the inaugural tournament.
Weighing in at 245 pounds,
And Malveaux here been an interesting one so far. His time in the SWA has been a little up and down. Started off what we thought was really strong in his first match. You mentioned the tournament. He looked good, and then something happened, some kind of mental error or something, and he gave away a win essentially to Lucien Badeau, who we just saw. So he exits the first round of the tournament. Everyone's kind of confused about it. But he's got this cocky sort of demeanor. Maybe he just got a little too cocky. We weren't sure. And then he comes back and he wins against Corey Wolfhart, who himself has kind of struggled to establish his presence. He's not bad, but he's never quite able to come out on top the way he wants. So I'm interested to see where Malveau's going to go in the near future. Like the next few matches, I think will determine what we're going to really know we expect from this guy.
Yeah, and we saw a little bit of that cockiness again in that match with Wolfhart, but he was able to sort of stand in there and show some resilience against Wolfhart. And I don't know if he needs to do that if he just comes out without sort of underestimating his opponent. And he's got a good one tonight in Corey Quinn.
Yeah, and Corey Quinn, meanwhile, had a strong showing in the tournament. Really sort of stood out amongst the Quinn brothers, and even larger competition, but has now really, I think, leaned into his identity as a tag team wrestler, one of several who grew up together and are a tight knit unit in a way that I don't know that any other team can really replicate. So it'll be interesting to see how Corey, who's clearly a very skilled wrestler, juggles his singles career and his tag career.
Yeah, and if a loss tonight, perhaps he's, focuses more on the tag team side of it, but a win could be big for him as well. We're looking ahead to episode 6, the final card before the pay-per-view countdown, which will be in a couple of weeks. This match, actually, the winner of this match, we can announce now, will face Calvin Abueva next week in a Path to Glory qualifier. So a lot on the line between these two, Corey and Malveaux here.
Big exploder suplex to start us off. I think Malveaux may have heard you explain the stakes of this match, and so he wanted to make a statement early.
Certainly a hot start. We see if he can get back in control here as Corey goes on the offensive a bit.
And then a back body drop.
Yeah, and only our second match of the night. A lot on the line. A chance at the Beast next week in a Path to Glory qualifier, which will mean they will feature in the pay-per-view with a chance at a pretty nice prize, if I have to say so myself. How about another suplex there from Malveaux?
Yeah, those two exploders, and I mean they call it that because it's quick and it's powerful. It's one of those moves that, before you realize it, you're on your back, staring up at the lights.
Big knee strike there from Malveaux.
Yeah.
Landed
a hot start for Malveaux here.
On the jaw of Corey Quinn. But Quinn not giving up just yet. He's fighting back as well. Ooh.
Yeah, I think I would say Malveaux seems to have started off really hot here. Quinn is trying to keep up and not necessarily failing, but it feels like Malveau's trying to inch away here and really get the momentum going. And as he deadlifts him, oh my goodness.
Right into another suplex.
The power on display here tonight by Lazar Malveaux.
Going for a cover here. Has he done enough? Not quite. Quinn able to get out after one, but kind of taking Corey Quinn to Suplex City a little bit tonight. That's the third one we've seen, but a nice counter there by Quinn, who's back to his feet and on the offensive. Just ragdolls Malveaux out of the ring. Chance to catch his breath, take a breather here. But he's going to the top
going
rope.
Up top.
And
what is
off
he?
He goes,
oh no!
Knee first to the outside, nobody home. As Malveaux wisely rolls out of the way, and that may come back to bite him there.
I hope he can stand. My goodness, I would be scared to put any weight on that leg after the way he landed.
He's right back up, and outside goes Malveaux. So Quinn
doing it again.
Second time the charm here. He's daring Malveaux to get to his feet. Lands it clean.
Great Hurricane Rana there. I guess his knee's feeling okay.
Certainly looks like it. But Malveaux also back to his feet outside. Strong kick there. Oh! Quinn.
Wow.
Malveaux got out of the way, and Quinn delivered a strong right to the ref.
And a Pele kick afterward. My goodness.
Driving the point of that elbow into the left leg of Malveaux, and kudos to the ref who stood in there and took that shot and is still available.
Yeah, he just no-sold that punch. My goodness.
Oh.
Big swanton bomb there.
Strong impact center of the ring as Malveaux. Can he get out of this one? Corey Quinn comes away with a victory. And that high-risk maneuver to the outside, he missed the first one, but the second one landed, and maybe that turned the tides. We were a bit concerned about him going for it again, but really went for it there. And I don't know, the ref got down and counted that one quick. Maybe he got the message from that right hand that Quinn delivered. It sure seemed like an accident, but who can be sure?
Here is your winner, Corey Quinn.
Incredible. I don't know, and we're hearing from the fans at home. Maybe this ref was sort of out of whack, and that punch kind of righted him and put him back in working order, so his counts and everything won't be so slow. But it might be too soon to tell.
Yeah, and Corey Quinn goes back above 500, 3-2 in singles action, plus the the win in tag team action, as well as the Quinn brothers' overall 2-0 record. Things looking up for Corey Quinn and the Quinn brothers as a whole. A nice win there. He will face, once again, the Beast Calvin Abueva next week, episode 6, for a chance to secure his spot on the Path to Glory. Big win for Corey Quinn and only our second match of the night. And we move into our third match where we'll see Captain Tiger Marsh taking on the Machine.
Yeah, and you mentioned Corey Quinn getting back to 500. Both of these guys are looking to do the exact same thing. So they both had kind of uneven starts, both coming off recent losses and looking to rebound yet again. Get back to 500, which is one step closer to a winning record and really establishing yourself. I think both of these guys have been a little bit of a disappointment so far. A lot of hype coming in and then just haven't been able to deliver consistently.
Yeah, and for Marsh, he last lost to Abueva, who we just mentioned. So that Path to Glory match next week could have been him had he won that match against the Beast. And, that's got to sting a little bit to know that now. So he's going to be looking to get back to 2-2, back to 500, as you mentioned. For the Machine, it was a rougher start. He started 0-2, but did secure a victory in his last match against Art Vandelay, and looking to keep that momentum rolling. So far, we've talked about it every time we've seen him. So far, the Machine 0-2 in matches in which he doesn't land his Machine takedown, 1-0 in matches in which he does. Will we see the finisher? Will we see that strong right hand of the Machine? And if he can land it, will it finish this match?
Yeah, honestly, who knows? I don't know what to think anymore because it feels so unpredictable. But I agree with you. I think that's going to be the tell for us. If he manages to land that knockout punch, I think it's game over for really any opponent, but especially the one he's facing here tonight in Captain Tiger Marsh.
Could be, and he's been focusing on making sure he lands that. I've heard that his quickness with his strikes has improved, and the power behind those strikes has improved. He's already one of the hardest hitters in the business. If he can figure out how to do that at a more accelerated rate and more accurately, that's a deadly combination for the rest of the SWA roster. This man is all business, and he's ready to take down Captain Tiger Marsh tonight. We'll see what Marsh has to say about that as the Illinois native takes on the Machine from Death Valley.
Okay, kind of a slow start here, feeling each other out. Wow.
Big right hand for Machine there after a bit of a headlock, and now Marsh has got him backed up in the corner. Ref going to separate this one here.
That's that wasn't the patented Machine takedown, but I'd be scared of any sort of big right hand from the Machine, even early in the match.
Certainly, and a ring rattling slam there from the Machine. Nice counter.
Wow, a schoolboy
rolls him up. Has he done enough? No, 2 count. Marsh barely gets out of that one, and the Machine almost stole one here.
Interesting approach here, trying to catch him off guard. That like sort of sucker punch and then a sneaky pin like that. Like. Maybe the Machine here thinking if I change my strategy a bit, I can get some more wins.
How about the schoolboy roll-up from the 6'11" Machine, the tallest superstar in the SWA, known for his striking. Goes for the sneaky pinfall attempt.
Yeah, that's a lot of big boy to fit underneath an opponent like that in order to execute a schoolboy properly. That's impressive. And the agility to pull it off so quickly, too. Speaking of very large boys, the 6'11" Machine just, sent over the top in a back body drop. Now Marsh looking to maintain control here for a little while.
Yeah, Marsh certainly no slouch himself in the strength department. 6'6", 250. He's a solid heavyweight. And, he can carry his own weight as well here.
Just a shoulder tackle replied with a big boot. My goodness.
Strong boot there.
This match is just a fight. It's a brawl.
Yeah, and look at Marsh focusing on the right arm of the Machine. Maybe negate some of those punches, but he catches an uppercut and then another big check tackle takedown from the Machine, just using his size to his advantage. There's a strong right that takes Marsh to the outside, and the Machine steps over to follow him out.
Gives him no time to recover, but Marsh
Doesn't
gets
need
a
it,
little reversal
apparently.
anyway.
And Marsh getting back in the ring, maybe going to try to use that to his advantage, but the Machine grabs a hold of him. Kind of catches him off guard there. So Marsh staggers back. Does take advantage, even though it just took the Machine so long to get back into the ring, even with that attack.
Double leg takedown there from the Machine, but what's he going to do with it here?
Yeah, surprising amount of technical wrestling from the Machine. Big
Oh.
chop with that right hand. As he put him away with that 1, 2, and kicked out.
Not quite.
2.
Not going to do it.
A strong right chop. Oh, and the Machine is loading it up.
Uh-oh.
Ducked
Oh,
underneath.
no.
Marsh, what a counter. Gets
We saw him-
underneath it.
We saw the Machine lose in this exact fashion in the tournament, I think it was.
Yeah, the boulder, Tupuolo, got underneath that thing and then came away with a victory. Has Marsh pulled off the same? He's got him in the tree of woe. Where is Marsh going?
I think I know what he's thinking. He's thinking coast to coast right now.
He sure is. Top rope, corner to corner. All the way, driven both boots into the face of the Machine. The Machine is busted open.
My goodness. The athleticism on display there by Tiger Marsh.
What an impact from Marsh. Has he put away the Machine? 1, 2, and got the shoulder up. The Machine somehow got out of that.
Wow, that's
250 pounds, corner to corner, directly to the face of the Machine, and he somehow kicks out.
yeah. That's got to be all instinct from the Machine at this point. I mean, he's taking quite a beating here tonight, and that can't be a conscious decision. It was sort of purely instinctual. Marsh looking to really assert himself here, feeling himself, looking to take control and sort of put the
he's
Machine away. But we
Got
got a
him
big.
there, slams him to the ground.
I thought that might have been a choke slam, but
Ooh,
oh my gosh,
Steps across him. That's 275 pounds right on the stomach.
yeah, wow, that's a lot. Another big uppercut.
Misses that overhand chop, and it took a lot out of the Machine, it looks like, but there's a strong left. And a big clothesline from Marsh.
Machine, he's looking tired, he's looking winded, but he's not quite out yet. And I feel like Marsh should have capitalized here and kind of closed this one down when he was on top. You don't want to let someone back in like the Machine.
Another big clothesline there from Marsh, and now working on the face, the bloodied head of the Machine. The Machine's going to have to find a reserve tank here if he's going to get back into this one. Looks super winded out there, and Marsh been in control of this one for a bit.
More just,
Backhand chop.
my gosh, this is just two guys just beating the tar out of each other.
Definitely just a brawl here in the ring. What is the Machine looking for here as Marsh gets back to his feet? Lands it clean. That strong right. The Machine takedown. Marsh got under it once. Not this time as he put him away. Marsh gets the shoulder up. 2
Ow!
count.
I don't understand, man. I was sure that actually executing that punch was going to be it. My goodness, I don't know what else to say.
Both of these two have found a way out of some truly devastating offense. And Marsh right back at it. Finding some life after kicking out of that Machine takedown.
Chop of his own.
Whiffs on that one, though, and the Machine capitalizes with a Irish whip into the corner, but catches a boot for his troubles. Whipped back into the ring, right into a strong kick, and the Machine now in a pinfall here from Marsh. 1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
Marsh with a surprise pinfall there puts away the Machine.
Wow. It must have just been the wear and tear. That didn't feel like enough to really close out the match. I wasn't prepared for that. I was down here looking at my notes, preparing
back and
for
forth between these two, and for that to finish it off, a bit surprising. We didn't see, the strong offense, the finisher type maneuver from Marsh there.
Yeah, what a just complete war these guys gave us.
And a strong match from both. You never want to have a loss, but Machine had a pretty good showing, but I think, endurance, stamina, the conditioning may have caught him there. They just ran out of gas.
Yeah, it really seemed like that was the issue. He just kept looking winded, and I think both these guys were beginning to wear out. So at that point, you got to be able to capitalize, and Marsh did.
He certainly did that. A big win for Captain Tiger Marsh here. Gets himself back to 500, 2-2. Machine falls to 1-3. Not a place you want to be, but
no, sir.
Still a lot of potential left for him. But you certainly want to be on the winning side of a match like that, and Marsh is tonight. But how about this one? We got some more singles action between tag team members. We've got more Quinn brothers. The Rocket, Jamie Quinn, accompanied by his brother Noah, taking on Eric Draven the Crow, accompanied by his tag team member of Deadfire, Dead Peace.
Yeah, and this one sort of showcasing our tag division, but in singles competition.
And so far, the Quinn brothers are 2-0 as a total unit. Jamie and Noah 1-0 on their own, and Deadfire 1-0 as well, although we saw Dead Peace and the Phoenix, Diego Mercer, in that match. Yet to see Draven in tag team action, but a good chance to scout a potential opponent here tonight, taking on Jamie Quinn. Quinn, only the one singles match back in the tournament where he lost to his own brother, Corey Quinn. And for the Crow, he last faced Painwrecker in a Path to Glory match. He came away with a loss in that match, but he's looking to get back to 500 himself here, improve to 2-2 in singles, and get some momentum for himself and Deadfire as a unit.
Yeah, and I think Draven's been a really interesting singles competitor. He had a great match with Songgrace in the tournament. He's just one of those guys who refuses to quit. His tag team partner Diego Mercer is the same way. Just like never say die, never can be properly counted out. And I think he's looking to capitalize on that a little better. He's able to stay in matches, but he hasn't been able to win them as much as he'd like. And going up against the sort of top echelon tag team wrestlers like the Quinns, I think, like you said, maybe this is a scouting mission, so that when the tag team division really kicks off in earnest, these guys kind of know what they're up against, right? And in the meantime, Draven can sort of see everything that they've got to throw at him.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine that these four competitors here tonight won't see each other in a ring at the same time in tag team action at some point. And we'll see what half of that looks like tonight in this singles match between the Crow and Jamie Quinn.
Deadfire make a really interesting team. You know, a group of guys all sort of loosely death-inspired kind of things, but I think more importantly, it's what they all share that spirit of what I was talking about. You know, never say die. They're a group of guys who refuse to quit, and I think that's a really admirable quality in wrestlers.
Certainly resiliency, one of the keys to victory for the Crow here and Deadfire as a whole. And we'll see if that's on display for Draven tonight in this match against Jamie.
Yeah, I mean, we will have to see. It's this one really could go either way. I'm not sure who I would pick in a betting situation here. This one gonna be tight. Gonna be a close one.
Well, for Jamie, it's his second singles match. Haven't seen him since the first night of SWA action all the way back in that inaugural tournament. For Draven, you know, he's had 3 matches under his belt. They haven't all gone his way, but he's got a little bit more experience in singles action so far. Maybe that'll be what really turns the tides here. Or maybe Jamie's just chomping at the bit to get in here and get some more singles action under his belt and get himself a victory.
You know, you mentioned Quinn's only singles match was actually against his brother, Noah, who is now his corner man. That's, you know, we talked about that wrinkle at the time, but yeah, I mean, you know, not only is his only singles match a loss,
Jamie
it was a loss
Quinn
to his own brother.
All up in the face here of Draven.
Yeah,
and
really itching to get started. It seems like he's not about this long entrance.
Certainly not at all. Just standing in between them. Weird choice there for Jamie Quinn, but maybe getting in the mind of Draven here. Yeah, for Jamie, it was a loss against his brother Corey, who's had a much better.
Oh, sorry, Corey, not Noah.
So
My mistake.
But you know, it's also tough to gauge a loss against your brother in a singles match like that when you're tag team competitors. You know, how much weight do you really put behind that? Was that match all they had? Did they hold anything back due to the relationship, or
sure?
You know, Corey Quinn's proven to be a solid singles competitor. A loss against him, nothing really to be too disappointed by. We saw Corey get a nice victory tonight over Lazar Novo.
It's very true. That is very true. And Dead Piece already getting involved here. Wow.
Yeah,
wasting no time.
Quinn letting him have it as well. These two right into it, and Draven takes advantage.
Big German suplex there by Draven. Nice job capitalizing on the teammate distraction.
Yeah, if your teammate's going to give you an opportunity like that, you got to take it, and the Crow did just that here.
Working the legs a little bit. You know, Jamie Quinn, one of these infamous submission artists we have here in the SWA, so maybe the Crow looking to match him blow for blow there.
Yeah, self-proclaimed member of the sub gang. A little bit of a, you know, fraternity among the folks that focus their offense a little bit more on the submission side, the technical side, and so far
a nice Michinoku driver there to really assert himself.
Yeah, had control there for a bit, but Draven back to his feet as well.
Tilt-a-whirl arm drag, man. Draven really, really feeling himself early on in this match.
Yeah, ever since Dead Piece gave him an opportunity to get some momentum back on his side, he's really capitalized on it. See if Noah Quinn will do the same for Jamie here tonight.
You know, my instinct is to say that they're a little too straight-laced for that, but we already saw, you know, Fuerza Mayor get involved in the same way when the match called for it, and these guys are brothers. So
powerbomb from Jamie Quinn.
Yeah, my goodness.
Nice
but again,
reversal from Draven.
Draven always manages to find a way to get back in it. I gotta commend him for that. That's a really hard thing to continue to react to. Snapmare and then going to work on the neck there a little bit.
drives the point of that elbow right into the top of the head of Jamie, but Jamie back up with an uppercut.
Nice little clothesline running bulldog.
Nice combination from Jamie Quinn, now wrenching on the neck of the Crow here, center of the ring. Looking for a cover already.
A quick pin, you know, Jamie's not really had control much in this match.
Definitely not quite enough. Just gets a 1 count there, and Draven punching his way back to his feet and into a nice drop kick.
Yet again, just maintaining control. When he gets down, he finds a way to get back up. And, you know, it feels like this is Draven's match to lose right now. I don't want to speak too soon, but he's just finding a way to respond, and he's got an answer for everything Jamie Quinn can throw at him so far.
Certainly early on. Ooh, big back kick there from Draven.
Just dropped him like a rock.
Looked like he might have just caught that black mass kick.
And here we go.
Noah Quinn with a timely distraction of the ref. Really bailed his brother out there, who caught that boot from Draven. Might have finished the match off. That black mass back kick can be deadly, and a strong elbow from Quinn there to Draven. Oh, driven on the back, and looks like the Crow's busted open there. Some white mixed into, or excuse me, red mixed into the white and black, and he's got it locked in here, center of the ring, and right away Draven taps out.
My goodness, that was a very quick tap, and honestly a quick turnaround. Very quick turnaround.
Right in. Jamie Quinn busted him open and then got him right in that submission and put him away.
Wow.
A testament to the pain employed by that submission there, because Draven never stood a chance. He was out immediately with not a lot of focus on the lower back of Draven so far in that match, but he just put him away with it anyway. As we see there, you know, the pinfall that never was after that black mass, a well-timed distraction by Noah Quinn, and is that what saved Jamie and allowed him to lock in that submission?
Here is your winner.
Yeah, that sharpshooter, you know, I mean, we know that he's a submission guy, and so as soon as he went to lock it in, you know, it was danger time. But I don't know, I felt like Draven kind of just lost steam there. That surprised me how quick that turnaround was. You know, he was on top for a long time, hits the black mass, doesn't get the pin, but out of nowhere, Jamie Quinn busts him open, and before you know it, he's in a sharpshooter.
Yeah, and when you get color in a match like that, sometimes it can ignite something in you that you didn't really know was there, and sometimes it can make you, you know, turn into yourself a little bit and recoil, and maybe that's what we saw from Draven. He wasn't expecting that. Got busted open in that one, and leads to Jamie Quinn getting a victory.
Yeah, it's a big time.
We've got
big
three
victory
more
for Jamie
matches
Quinn
on the card. We've got the Polynesian island god SWA taking on Flynn Turner Simmons, FTS. It's in Daytona, Florida. Good matchup here tonight. SWA sitting at 2-3. He last faced off against AJ Bauer in a match that he got a victory in. For FTS, he's sitting at 2-2. His last match was a loss in a Path to Glory qualifier against El Sangres, and he's looking to get back above 500 here and get some momentum going, get himself back up the rankings after that tough loss in that qualifying match.
319 pounds, the Samoan.
319. SWA is pushing the limits of our heavyweight division, giving about a 100-pound advantage here to SWA against FTS.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. He's a guy that I also have been kind of, I don't know, underwhelmed with. I thought he looked good in the tournament. Looked like he was going to be a real threat. And it's been sort of middling. I think this match will be interesting. You know, both of these guys, Savea and FTS, both lost Path to Glory matches. And so the question becomes, you know, well, you missed out on that opportunity, but what do you do to make sure you're prepared for the next one? And I think that's the question that they're looking to answer here tonight.
So far, you know, in SWA and really almost anything, capitalizing on opportunities is critical. And when you failed to do that, a lot of what determines your character is how you come back from that. You know, both of these
Indeed.
people missed an opportunity, and will they seize the next one? Will they earn themselves another one? Or will they let that define them? And I'm willing to bet that both of them would love to get a win here tonight, get themselves moving in the right direction once again. For FTS, he's got the signature bright colors.
Yeah, he really does.
Bit of a highlighter aesthetic here. The greens,
Get that man a black light.
the purples, oranges, and yellows, all on full display.
And that's kind of how he wrestles too. He's a big personality. He's a bit flashy. I mean, you know, the hair, the tattoos. It's a whole vibe. But we'll see if flashiness is enough to get a win over Savea here in this match. Big flatliner from Savea early on, and looking at the Samoan looking to go to work here.
A little bit of back and forth there, catching a couple of strikes. FTS in control early, but not a lot of offense been on display from either side just yet. We're still in the early goings.
Yeah, still a bit of a feeling out process, I think. It sounds crazy to, you know, the uninitiated, but sometimes it's not a bad idea to let your opponent throw a few punches, hit a few moves on you. You kind of get a sense of what's going on. And a second rope moonsault there from FTS. That's some good athleticism.
Yeah, he just gets a one count on the pinfall attempt, but using the ropes, using some elevation to his advantage, he might be looking to do that later on if he can employ that shooting star press. Might be able to put away Savea.
Yeah, he might do just that, but Savea, if he's got anything to say about it, how about a rest hold? Let me get my breath back here and inflict some pain on you.
Might as well, a little two birds, one stone there, but FTS finds a way to get out of it. Now going back to work on offense.
Savea slides out. Quick reaction time there by Savea. Gets out of the ring. FTS gets confident enough to throw up a taunt, and Savea jumps right back in and capitalizes.
Yeah, but this time Savea sent to the outside, not of his own accord. Big clothesline from FTS. Stomp on the left arm there from FTS.
Just a lot of stomping. I guess he's not wasting energy.
So the float over arm drag, takedown. He's up to the top rope. Savea on the outside and looking for the elbow. Savea wisely just kind of knocks it to the side. A nice deflection. Not too much
drifted
damage
away
done
there.
To FTS either, though.
Yeah, this one's turned into a bit of a back and forth affair. You know, that's what we like to see sometimes here. See these guys really have to, you know, give it their all. Big spike DDT there, really dropping Savea on the top of his head, and he seems to be feeling it.
See if that's enough to put away Savea. Once again, just a one count. FTS is going to have to bring out the big guns if he's going to put down the Island God.
Let's see what he's got in mind here. Little leapfrog action again. All right. Little leaping uppercut. Nice work by FTS.
Athleticism certainly on display there, but oh, Savea counters a nice kip up from FTS, but he catches a strong running knee.
And really caught it. Like that was, man.
Running right into it, but only a 1 count. Still able to get right out of it.
It's not a good sign for Savea. But he's going to go technical here, get some groundwork in.
Bit of an alligator roll there into a little bit of a clutch here, wrenching on the neck of FTS. Lets him out of that hold to maintain control here. And he's taking him up in that cradle.
There it is.
Looking for
stomping
the
around.
Drop right in the
there it
center
is.
of the ring. Well placed. Going for the cover. Got him right where he wants him. Has he done enough? 1, 2, and 3.
He sure has.
Couple of high fives from the ref. Puts him away. A nice win for Savea. And Flynn Turner Simmons goes down with a loss.
That's a good win from Savea there. You know, I was gonna say that's unfortunate for FTS, but I think more than anything we have to give credit to Savea there. Real back and forth affair. A couple times FTS looked like he had it. A couple times Savea looked like he had it. Neither could get the upper hand, and then Savea just put him away.
And for Savea, he moves to 3-3, back to 500. He's on a two-match little skid here with a couple of wins against Bauer and now FTS. One more, and we could call it a streak. And some good momentum headed Savea's way.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing a theme emerge tonight. Tonight's about rebounds. You know, we've seen so many guys right the ship, get back to 500, rebound from a big loss, things like that. And it's interesting to see how well we've seen a lot of these guys respond tonight. You know, this talented roster, unfortunately, every match someone has to lose, but that doesn't mean everything's over for you, and we're seeing that here tonight.
And we go into our second to last match here. We've got two more left on the card. We've got the merciless Mason Jones taking on Kyo Sankari, a couple of strikers. Sankari has already punched his ticket in a Path to Glory match. He's the one that took down Savea, as we mentioned before.
Yep.
And for Jones, he won his debut match against Lucien Badeau. He's sitting at 1-0. A win over Sankari, who's already a Path to Glory competitor, could be pretty big here for Mason Jones.
Yeah, I mean this is a bit of a hot shot almost, but at the same time, I think Jones has earned it. He's come out really strong and really shown us that he's deserving of a lot of attention and the spotlight here. And I think if he wins this match over Sankari, there's an argument that he should be in the Path to Glory match instead of Sankari, even with the way the records would look.
Yeah, and we know we've got a Path to Glory qualifier next week. We know we've got one coming up in our main event tonight. That'll be potentially 6 competitors locked in. We don't know how many spots yet to be announced will be in that event. Is Jones, does he have a chance here to perhaps be a 7th?
I think he would argue he not only has a chance, but indeed has a right. I think tonight maybe we'll tell whether or not he's going to be able to make that happen.
Certainly a win here would be pretty strong. It would move him to 2-0 in singles competition. Not a lot of people sporting undefeated records in the SWA. A win tonight, and he's 2-0, and the only other undefeated person in the SWA is our champion, Warren Windham, who sits at an astounding 6-0 and looks untouchable so far. If Jones is sitting there, no losses and a couple of wins, you're right, he's got a pretty good argument that he deserves a little bit more of a shot. Maybe looking to move up the rankings a bit here tonight if he can get a win over Sankari, who's had a pretty good showing so far himself.
And his opponent, from 120 pounds, K.
And Sankari here, bit of a wild card. You know, he's kind of got a reputation as a bit of a crazy guy. So I'm interested to see what he might do here. Kind of maybe put someone like Mason Jones in his place.
That's the other thing on the line. You know, a lot of talk about Jones moving to 2-0. How about a strong 3-1 if Sankari comes away with a victory here and kind of puts an end to the momentum that Jones carries into this one? Would be a statement win for him as well. He secured his path to glory spot a long time ago, and would be a good chance to remind people just what he's capable of as well.
Yeah, you make a good point because he hasn't really had much in the way of difficulty winning matches. It's, you know, he's shown us what he can do, but I think he's kind of, it's been in a very straightforward way and has been flashy, and so I think maybe he's kind of been one that people forget about, maybe tend to underestimate.
Well, and if he keeps this up, they won't anymore because he's been off to a hot start here, but Jones finally countering into something of his own, but Sankari right back at it. It's been all Kehoe so far with a lot of strong offense. Big running knee strike there. And Sankari just in control of this one.
Yeah, looking to put him away quick. I think, like I said, maybe trying to put Jones in his place. He's a bit of a hot shot, maybe a little too cocky, a little too full of himself, and I think maybe Sankari's looking to tell him what's what. And he doesn't really speak English. He only rambles in Finnish, so I think he's got to do it by fighting.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's most striking so far is just the pace that Sankari has kept in this match. I mean, it's been one thing right after the other, not giving Jones any chance to recuperate. And we'll see if he can keep that up for long enough to finish this match off. But it's been certainly a hot start so far for Sankari.
Yeah, it's slowing down the pace here, though, and I don't know if that's a move I would agree with. I don't, you know, Sankari is certainly not a member of the sub gang, as it were. I think here he should, you know, you got to keep the tempo up, keep your foot on the gas. You don't want to let Mason Jones back into this in any way.
Off the top rope, a nice DDT there from Jones. Maybe this is his chance to get back in this one. Looking for a cover. He's got a 1 count, nothing more.
Yeah, it's a little too soon for me. But, you know, then again, Jones is a proud guy, very confident in his own abilities, and maybe he thought he really did enough.
Yeah, he caught an uppercut, too, for his pride there as he was going for a taunt as Sankari rolled out of the ring. And he's got to know with the pace that Sankari's kept that he's going to be coming back in immediately. Sankari was trying to take him maybe to the barrier there. Jones finds a way out of it and slams him into the steel steps for good
Oh, man. That is going to hurt.
That's one way to get back into a match. Use the environment to your advantage. That'll take the wind out of you for sure. Sankari taking this action back into the ring. Perhaps where he feels more comfortable, and he's back on the offensive. Trying to take the momentum back in his favor. Stay in control of this one. Going for the cover, gets a 1 count. Wasn't expecting anything more than that here in the announce booth. It's going to take some more, I believe, to put down Mason Jones.
It really is, but he's going for it again with the dirty pin this time, using the ropes, and still nothing.
Up on the ropes. Ref didn't see it, but Jones still gets out of it right away. Drives the forearm and the elbow there into the face of Jones. And how about a couple more strong rights? Big uppercut. Sends Jones into the corner, and now Sankari draping him in the
tree
corner.
of woe.
Driving the foot into the neck and head. And Sankari with a taunt of his own. Sankari has just been in control of this one start to finish almost. He gets a 2 count with that cover. He's really looked in control. And if Jones doesn't get something going soon and for a sustained amount of time, I don't see how he can come out of this with a victory. But how about that?
Oh, man.
Has a chance to get back in it. And Sankari is right back to his feet.
And some strong strikes here from Mason. And, he's looking to get the momentum going. They call him merciless for a reason. Let's see if he can get it here.
Back kick off the ropes goes Sankari into a couple of drop kicks. And a nice neck breaker there. A good sequence for Jones.
One for maybe like a bear hug. I couldn't tell what that was.
Yeah, not sure if he thought he had a suplex locked in there and couldn't get him over. And Sankari with another nice counter.
Yeah, nice little Northern Lights suplex there. But now he's going to take a breather. Interesting choice.
Well, he's been, 90 miles an hour the whole time. Maybe that's finally catching up with him, and that could be a problem if he can't get back to that pace.
Yeah, I think if any time was the time to close, that was it right there. But let's see if we get that famous rolling elbow. There it is.
Lands it clean, and Jones just goes slack jaw there. Can Sankari get the cover? He's got him awfully close to the ropes, and sure enough, Jones gets a hold of him. Sankari with a backflip. Dares Jones to hit him, and he does. And just not a wise decision by Sankari.
Yeah.
Didn't position him properly to get the pinfall, and Jones able to get a hold of the ropes.
It's really unfortunate for Sankari there. Not only, you said he went slack-jawed. He didn't just go slack-jawed. He went slack everything. He was completely limp. He was out on his feet, but just managed to get the ropes, and that was enough to give him a second and let him get back in this match. Sankari's going to be kicking himself over that one.
Some strong ring awareness from Jones, even when he was dazed and nearly lights out. Might have saved his life in this match. I don't know how he could have got out of that otherwise.
Let's see what he's thinking here. Going to work the arm some more. This one also turned out to be a real battle. Seen a lot of great Blue Thunderbomb there by Mason Jones. A lot of great action tonight in SWA. Let's see if he gets a pin off of this.
For Jones, can he put away Sankari? No, kicked out at 2.
Let's see what else he's got in the bag of tricks here. Looks to be sizing him up a bit.
Goes for the grapple, and Sankari gets out of it.
Yeah, and now he's got him up in that fireman's carry. Oh, and now he's going to the corner.
And what is Sankari looking for in the corner here? Big, strong discus big boot takes Jones down, and he gets him right back to his feet. And Jones capitalizes.
Yeah. What is Sankari doing here? He's got to close this one out. This has been his match to win from the jump, basically, but he can't finish.
Huge wasted opportunity for Sankari, and driven off the ropes with that takedown. Lands a kick there, though, that takes Jones off his feet. And again, taking him back to his feet, and Jones capitalizes once more. How many times before you learn your lesson?
That's exactly what I was going to say. This feels like a broken record here. Maybe Sankari will finally figure out that you, in fact, need to have your opponent on the ground to pin them. I don't know enough of any sort of Nordic language to try to communicate that to this crazy man, but he's got to figure out how wrestling works if he wants to win this match.
Sankari focusing on the legs now. How about a handful of kicks in the corner and then another one there in the corner in the seated position. Now we'll see if he can maybe go in for some more here in the other corner. He's got Jones up top rope and a top rope neck breaker.
Man.
For Sankari, now going for
Now,
the cover. And somehow Jones gets the shoulder up. Can't believe it.
My goodness.
And Sankari
It's almost
can't either.
It almost feels like the moment has passed or something. I don't know what else to say. It just he wasted so many opportunities. I wonder if now, like, you know, Mason Jones has the upper hand in some weird sort of way. But as I say that, he's getting beat up even more.
Yeah, you know, Sankari has controlled the majority of this match, but just hasn't been able to put away Mason Jones, and that can be frustrating, and that can lead to more aggression, or it can lead to more mistakes. And we've seen, you know, I'd say a handful of mistakes from Sankari already tonight. He's got to be hoping that he doesn't cost himself, but what a strong forearm there to the head of Mason Jones. Another 2 count. Kicked out by merciless Mason Jones.
Mason Jones has got to have like 10 kickouts at this point. This is a little crazy, but I got to commend him on yet again not quitting. You know, there's so many of these guys here tonight who have just the epitome of that never say die attitude that makes them fierce competitors.
Knee is driven into the back of Jones, and Sankari just still in control. Now he's got him locked up. How about if you can't get a pinfall, can he get a submission? Lets him out of it.
That just looks like he wants to inflict the pain, but yeah, I mean that's not a bad strategy. Of course, you have to leave in the submission until they give up, but I don't know. Maybe he didn't think he was ready yet.
Oh, how about
busted him open though?
Kicks there, and yeah, took him right open.
That red streak in his hair is not the only thing that's going to be red in this ring tonight.
And Jones, once he's back to his feet, it's been a while since we've seen that sight.
And yet, he's still in this match. You know, it's crazy. But
going for a cover after the... Yeah, he gets 2 count.
Oh,
that's a little bit more than I would have expected.
And too close for comfort for Sankari, who, again, is just wasting his opportunities in this match. I don't know what he's thinking.
A bit surprising even to see a 2 count there, considering how Sankari's been in control of this. Tosses Jones shoulder first into the post.
And that's gonna hurt quite a bit. Now raking the face with his boot, trying to open that wound up even more, and it looks like he succeeded.
I think he certainly has. Crimson Mask for Jones, who gets out again.
We're going to have to get some EMTs down here to the ring. Jones is losing a lot of blood, but... with the cutter.
And Jones counters back to his feet. Mason Jones covered in his own blood and refusing to be put down. Starting to wonder if this match is ever going to end. Nice counter from Jones there. And Sankari seems a little uncomfortable on his feet out there.
Just gonna taunt him, it looks like. Not gonna bother to risk getting counted out and losing. I think Jones is happy to take a count out victory though.
Sankari finally shakes the butterflies out and gets back in and able to get a hold of Jones.
Going up top, what's he thinking here?
Is he looking for another one of those top rope neck breakers? Sure enough, he is, and lands it.
Oh.
This time he pulls Jones center of the ring. Maybe he has wisened up, and a 2 count. Jones gets out again.
My goodness. What a display from merciless Mason Jones here. I mean, he's a guy who came in with not a lot of fanfare, has really shown out in a couple of matches, and then has just put on an incredible display of instinct and natural ability here tonight to stay in a match that should have been over a long time ago, for being honest.
Going for a cover, he gets a 2 count. And Sankari hasn't taken a lot of offense, but he's been he's got to be winded just from the amount he's put on and the frustration here. Jones could get a surprise pinfall.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, I don't think it would be a surprise. I feel like at this point it would be earned because he's managed to stay in this match so much. Yes, Sankari is controlled, but if you've been in a match this long and retaliated with such force on a chop, I think he's made plenty of a case to actually succeed in winning this match.
Another neck breaker for Sankari there. This time on the outside for Jones.
Hung up on the ropes there on that leg takedown, but again, right back to his feet. I think Sankari, that may be his downfall, just bringing guys back up to their feet so much. Got to work on his ground game, it seems.
And a series of kicks once more. He's really favored that move to bust open Jones and inflict a lot of damage on the head.
Uh-oh.
How about Jones? What do you call that one, Doc?
Oh, I don't know. Some sort of really acrobatic way to slam a guy's face into the mat. I've never seen that before.
What an interesting takedown for Jones, but Sankari's got another submission locked in, wrenching on the knee.
In the middle of the ring.
Got him
nowhere to go.
Wants him, but once again he lets him out of it. What is the strategy that Sankari is employing with those submission attempts? It doesn't seem to be working.
I'm all for wearing down your opponent, but I think you have to kind of have an end goal in mind, and I think playing to your strengths is always smart. Sankari's strengths are striking, not submissions.
Oh, and Sankari gets out of another big grapple attempt, and how about that rolling elbow?
Let's see if you can put it away this time.
If this doesn't put away Jones, I don't know what will. Ref there for the cover. 1, 2, and finally 3. Sankari gets a perhaps well-deserved win, but the resiliency of Mason Jones, holy hell.
Yeah, what a match from these two. I think Sankari proving why he's someone who's in the Path to Glory match, proving that he's here to stay. He's not to be underestimated. Meanwhile, Mason Jones continues a really strong debut. Obviously he did not succeed in winning tonight, but holy cow, did he leave it all on the mat. Look at him.
Yeah, he is busted open for sure.
So he's got 2 wins, and then his only loss, it took, going to war to take him down. I think that shows a lot of promise for his future here in the SWA.
Sankari goes to 3-1, looking very strong heading into that Path to Glory match, whatever it will be at the pay-per-view. And we head to our main event. Speaking of Path to Glory, our main event is a qualifier match between Tomio Yamaguchi and Daniel Drake Thomas, the Fed, DDT. A couple of light heavyweights. I don't know if we've had a closer matchup, tail of the tape here. 6'2" 210 versus 6'1" 210. That's right, the same weight, only 1 inch separating the two of them. And
that's about as close as you can get in size.
That certainly is, and it's our main event for a reason tonight. One of these two secures their spot in a Path to Glory match at our Countdown pay-per-view in a couple of weeks' time. We've already seen earlier tonight that Corey Quinn earned himself an opportunity next week in a qualifier match of his own. But we've got one here tonight, and should be a good one. We've mentioned the sub gang already. Perhaps the leader, founder of that movement, Daniel Drake Thomas, involved in this match tonight. Secured the quickest victory in SWA history in his first ever match, a 54-second win way back in the inaugural tournament.
And what a debut that was too. My goodness.
Certainly looked like he was untouchable from the very get-go. It's been a little bit more of a struggle since then. He did not fare well in his last match. But in his defense, it was against Warren Windham, the SWA World Champion. And Yamaguchi, also no slouch when it comes to submission offense. He secured a victory with an ankle lock, which is a pretty devastating submission move in its own right, and one that he likes to employ as well.
Yeah, I was surprised. I think when we were, that match with Yamaguchi and Puma, right? That ankle lock kind of came out of nowhere, and it was the sort of thing we knew he had it in the arsenal, but it just sort of re-illustrated the dangerous nature of submission artists, because when you're that skilled at submissions and you can lock them in sort of seemingly out of nowhere without the need to set it up and really do a ton of work on, say, an ankle beforehand, the match can be over in a heartbeat, and that was the case for Puma.
And for DDT, we've seen a variety of submission offense in his arsenal. But for him, it's actually an ankle lock that is perhaps his most devastating submission as well. So we could be seeing a battle here to who can do the most damage to the lower legs, the feet, the ankle, and who can lock in that ankle lock first and who can lock it in the deepest. And that may be the deciding factor here tonight. We may have a submission victory in our main event here tonight with the Fed taking on Yamaguchi.
It's entirely possible that we will. Now we're underway. Let's see what... coming out swinging. It looks like with those open-handed strikes from Yamaguchi.
And for DDT, an interesting note is that he's 2-2. He has 2 losses. His only 2 losses are the 2 super heavyweights in SWA, the Boulder and Warren Wyndham. Light heavyweight Yamaguchi is a pretty good sized guy, but not anywhere close to that super heavyweight classification. That may bode well for DDT here tonight.
Yeah, it seems like he's got some sort of weakness against the guys that are like just truly massive. But we'll see here, because every time DDT wrestles, I think his opponents learn more about him. He was very mysterious coming in. No one really knew kind of what he had up his sleeve, and so I think as people get to know him, I think they may have him a little better scouted, but of course, if you're good enough, that doesn't matter. And we see here his ground game is incredible.
Yeah, and how about the difference in, there's similarities in wrestling style, but so he gets an armbar locked in here. Anytime a submission locked in, it's a chance that we could see the end of a match. Yamaguchi gets out of that one. The difference in attire. Yeah, for Yamaguchi, it's trunks, knee pads, and some ankle wraps, nothing more. And for DDT, he's got the button-up shirt, the tie. He's got his dress shoes on with his slacks. Certainly a difference of choice there.
Yeah, I mean, he's a businessman. There's Yamaguchi hits that brainbuster. I think DDT, he's a scout. He's a talent scout. He's got to go back to work after this match. And he never stops working, which is also a testament to why he's so good at what he does here in the ring, because he never stops working. Yamaguchi, meanwhile, a bit more of a traditional worker in that sense, and he'll continue to work, and lift and everything like that. But he's not hustling quite the same way, I don't think, and it may show here tonight.
And for DDT, there's been a lot of talk about the technical prowess of his submission offense. Word is he's put a lot of time into the power aspect of submissions as well, and just always rounding out his toolkit. There's basically not a submission attempt that this guy can't lock in effectively.
Yeah, and you mentioned that power, which is little swerve there from Yamaguchi, fakes out the stomp and then just sort of a gentle kick to the face. But yeah, the power submission, the power game, if you will, I think that's really key. It's easy to kind of underestimate quite how much it hurts to be put in a submission by any one of these wrestlers, but DDT in particular can exert more force, right? He can squeeze a little tighter, he can twist a little harder, And that's what makes him an elite submission artist, is that extra something he can put into it, that little bit of extra mustard. And that's because he's really invested in the power game there.
Yeah, and the trouble, however, is that he's got to get something locked in. And
He does indeed.
so far, it's been a little bit of all Yamaguchi here. A good offensive showing from him so far.
Yeah, Yamaguchi looking to be a little more skilled striker. We've talked a lot about DDT and his submission prowess. Yamaguchi also is a skilled submission artist, but you got to be able to strike sometimes too. It's not all about setting up arm bars. You got to be able to just hit your opponent once in a while, get them on the back foot, allow yourself to get control of the match. And one of these guys here has succeeded in that, and the other one has not, by and large.
Oh, and a 2 count there. Already a close call for DDT. Yamaguchi's still in control of this one, and I don't know, it might be over quicker than we expected.
You never know. I mean, we've seen some very quick matches from DDT.
Yeah, basically a 2.5 count there. Big Superman punch. And DDT out center of the ring. Has he put him away already?
And he has.
Enough, he has. Tomio Yamaguchi secures his Path to Glory opportunity, and what a showing. Wire to wire. Just in control of that match.
That was an impressive showing by Yamaguchi, who I think maybe was the underdog, or at least as far as the fans go, was the underdog. He was maybe not the odds-on favorite here, but he came out and showed us why he belongs in the SWA and why he belongs in the competition for the Path to Glory,
Yeah, what a showing. I mean, in the main event, coming out and just controlling a match. And it's been a bit of a 2-match skid for DDT, who drops to 2-3. His last couple of matches against Warren Windham and now Tomio Yamaguchi have not been good showings for him. And that's gonna hurt as far as the rankings are concerned, but what a strong victory for Tomio Yamaguchi.
Yeah, really, really big props to him. I think, like I said, I think people underestimated him coming into this. He's had some good wins. He's worked his way up, and now he's got a really exciting opportunity at the pay-per-view coming up very soon.
Yeah, and that closes out our card for the night. All 7 matches up, 7 matches down. We saw some good action tonight and a great main event. The nice victory from Yamaguchi. Pretty crazy showing between Sankari and Mason Jones, in which Sankari came away with a victory. We had a lot of good matches. A lot of tag team performers tonight on the card in singles action, sort of showing a different side of them. And we look forward to seeing you for episode 6. Card should be announced early tomorrow, and episode 6 going to go live tomorrow night about the same time, and that'll be our last show before our pay-per-view, which will be in a couple of weeks. That's going to be Countdown, and we look forward to seeing you for episode tomorrow and for the pay-per-view coming up.
We do indeed.
All right, thanks everybody for coming out. We hope to see you next time, and have a great night.